Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is take the eyelet and I'm gonna file a little bit on the bottom. And then I'm gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna try to taper that tip. And you'll see I'm wrapping this, I'm tilting it sideways so that I get that tip kind of rounded and pointed, okay? Okay, and then I'm gonna do that again, do it on this side, okay? Taper that. And then I'm gonna hold it like this and look at it, and I can tell pretty quickly that it's pretty flat. It's okay. If it tilts or something, if one of these legs tilts, I usually have a pair of pliers to tilt it back. But this looks pretty good, okay? So I do that with every eyelet when I'm putting it on. And previously, we took the whole rod, put it all together, used the this guide to put the eyelets on, and I put a little bit of blue tape where each eyelet goes, okay? Then, on the upper sections, what I tend to do is I'll put this eyelet on, and then this one, and then this one, but I'm gonna pretend that these two are already on here. So I'm gonna put this eyelet on, and now I gotta take my glasses off. Blue tape is, and then that's not important. And I'm gonna take a pretty heavy blue piece of tape, and I'm gonna tape that down as firm as I can on the left side, okay? So now I've got two pieces of tape, okay? Then I'm gonna take another piece of small blue tape, and I'm gonna put it on this side, so that this leg is held down until I get the thread up on that leg, okay? So now I've got three pieces of blue tape, okay? And in just a minute, I'm gonna have another one. So what I do before I start, I'll take this roll of tape and I'll cut all kinds of pieces and I'll tape them all over. I'll have them all over this thing. I'll have them all up and down here. Okay? And you always have a pair of scissors handy. Okay? Okay. Now, before I use this real heavy thread, this time I'm going to use the size A, I think it is, thread. Okay? And I'm gonna bring it over the eyelet, over the leg, and I'm gonna bring it back here on, and I'm gonna tape it firmly to the rod. Okay, I'm gonna tape that end of that string down like that. Okay, so now I got 4 pieces of blue tape. Okay, now the angle that you use this on is very critical. And I've got a piece of bad thread there. I shouldn't use that, but I'm going to. So now, this is the only tricky part. Well, I'm not going to say that. It is a tricky part. I want to start this about where I want to end or start the thread. Okay.
Is there a dimension you use for that from the edge of the?
Yes. I tend to use about 7 to 8 millimeters.
Okay, that's about what
I have a ruler there, but now I can eyeball it. Okay, and my angle's a little too much. Okay, now when I start to go over, I use this finger and I'll just push a little bit on it. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Do it again. Okay. Now I got about 4 wraps on there, but I've got gaps all over the place. So I leave this thumbnail kind of long, like I guess a picker on a guitar or something. Yeah. And I'll use that to push that thread together, okay? And you can see that I want this angle to be a little bit like this, okay?
Does it make any difference? I'm left-handed, so I do everything
Flip it.
backwards, but I have
just
my
start on
thread, I have my thread here in front of me and I'm rolling, so the thread's coming up. I'd be sitting here on this.
You'd be the opposite. Yeah, your angle would be this way.
Yeah, but
Well-
I mean, there's no problem doing
No.
that. I found it was a little
Eventually, you
easier.
can do them all one direction, but it's just a lot easier always doing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I've got I'm not up on the foot of it yet, but I can still take this off, okay? Now, I'm holding this down with my palm,
that's the secret, doing
I'll
it
take
like
that
right
off.
around the eyelid.
and, well, if you get a phone call or your wife calls, say dinner's ready, and you don't wanna stop that, you can just put that like that, and that'll keep it till you wanna come back and do it some more, okay? And I wanna pull it kinda hard. You wanna use a very sharp razor blade and cut it as close to, there as possible. Keep a dish over here for your wrapping. And, I'll start wrapping. See how that goes? Okay, now I'm gonna go up onto the foot of the eyelet. So I'm gonna use this finger. When it comes around, I'm gonna push it up on top. Push it up. And you can see it kind of went back down.
Yeah,
Push it up.
but it's only gonna come back as far as the.
Okay,
wrap.
now I'm over wrapping. Now, I don't want that. So I'm gonna back it up, okay? I'm gonna back it up to the eyelet, and I'm gonna put it on there again. Okay, now I've got a gap there. Doesn't bother me. I'm gonna start pulling that back. Okay? Okay, see, now I got it tight. Then I'm gonna take this off. Okay? And then I can go to town. You can see that I've done this enough that I got this angle perfect, and I keep moving this a little bit to
Oh,
do
that's
that.
how you're doing, you're moving the, okay, because I always fight that, having to keep sliding the thread, because, you know,
Yeah.
it's perfect, and then you
adjusted.
get a few wraps, and then it's, okay.
Okay, now, here, now,
Tip of the knife.
I use these teeth
Floss
things, where floss things, and I tie a knot or two in them so you can grab a hold of them, okay? And I'm holding the rod down with my palms, and I'll put this right on top, and I want to have the eyelet, or the eye of that sticking out like that, so I can get to it, okay? And I want to wrap some more, okay? And if I get a gap, use your thumb to wrap it, or to push it back. I still got a little bit showing, okay? And I want to go pretty close to the, so now I've got a good, I've probably got maybe too many wraps, but I'll go one more, okay? Now, I'll put my thumb right here to hold that thread down, and I want to cut it back here so that I've got a pretty good amount dangling. And then I'm going to put that through there, and you really want to make sure that you get the end of that through that loop. Make sure it's through that loop, because if you put it down there and you miss the loop and then you pull it, you get to wrap it again.
Come up with some new swear words.
And I'll just jerk that. I'll do it pretty quickly. And then I'm gonna take my thumb and go like that some more, okay? Then I'm going to pull this up as tight as I can, and I want it right on top, and I'm gonna take the razor blade and cut that off right there, and I didn't do it very good because I got a little bit of fuzz. And I don't like that. I got a little bit of fuzz, and I typically don't do that.
You can run your lighter real quick over it and it'll get rid of that.
Uh-huh.
If you don't do it quick, you get to rewrap again.
Yeah.
It's good practice. It's
Well-
therapy.
Well, I've got a candle in the kit, and I'll put the candle here and hold that over the candle. But if you hold it half a second too much,
Yeah.
the whole thread will burn off.
Yeah,
And you get to wrap it again, but there's no harm.
yeah, you can just keep wrapping it.
Anything you do before they put the epoxy on is good.